Today I would like to give you some introduction to our iOS tech strategy for 2023. Actually, there are a bunch of topics that we want to drive this year. We asked ourselves, what are the things and processes that we can improve to deliver even better products? How can we achieve to provide more stable and reliable apps? And which additional features and services can we offer to increase the customer satisfaction? What can be done to optimize the usability, to create a rich user experience, and to provide the highest level of app security so the users love using our products? But on the other hand side, we also considered what makes our developers happy in their daily business, because they are the makers and creators, and their happiness also means intrinsic motivation to deliver perfect results. For our tech strategy, we defined three main focus areas. The first one is to bring forward SwiftUI. The second one is about iOS innovation and using the latest platform features. And the third one is how can we optimize app development processes. Let me give you a short introduction about SwiftUI. SwiftUI is an Apple framework for creating graphical user interfaces, which was introduced along with iOS 13 in 2020. SwiftUI is a domain-specific language which is based on Swift, which is our main programming language, and it's designed to fit the needs for providing a declarative approach for creating stateless user interfaces. SwiftUI is designed to perfectly fit the needs for providing a declarative approach for creating a stateless user interface which consists of reusable components. We at Appsfactory consider SwiftUI the future for creating the user interfaces on the iOS and watchOS platforms. In the past, we already created several projects, partially or even fully based on SwiftUI, but we consider this the preferred approach for all new upcoming projects. In order to achieve this, we already created a project template. That means there is a Xcode project which contains all the base project structure and setup. This can be used as a blueprint for creating new projects by our developers and is regularly updated for certain platform adaptations and other changes that are required. We also provide a best practice project to our developers, and this one contains code samples for integrating certain features according to our architecture requirements and according to our best practice definitions and coding guidelines. This best practice project is also continuously extended with new code samples and also updated according to language features and framework updates that Apple provides. Last month, we also published our SwiftUI coding guidelines. So this is an extension of our general coding guidelines that we define for our developers. And these especially define a rule set for naming and integrating UI components, how to structure code, and how SwiftUI code fits in our architecture approach. As previously mentioned, we also want to bring SwiftUI to our watch applications. Our existing watch applications are purely built using a WatchKit framework and the storyboard approach, but this one has been recently deprecated by Apple, so the future of watchOS applications will also be SwiftUI. The reason why Apple deprecated this storyboard approach is that they themselves also want to drive this SwiftUI approach, even with the release of iOS 14. And the integration of home screen widget, they forced us iOS developers to use SwiftUI and did not allow any other technology for this. Let's continue with the topic iOS innovations and latest platform features. Apple provides new innovations and features with every major iOS release. With the new iOS features, there are also new frameworks released by Apple, potentially extending the capabilities of our applications. And our developers are really keen on using them. We want to add and extend existing implementations of these features as part of our products to make them more useful and valuable for our users. There are, for example, platform features like displaying live updates in the dynamic island and on the lock screen, presenting content updates and previews using rich push notifications on the lock screen, but also implementing widgets which present content previews on the lock screen and the home screen. We also want to add support for Apple CarPlay and Apple Watch for more applications to extend the ways that our apps can be used. Another big topic is integrating machine learning. For example, to provide more useful recommendations based on the app usage and the user's behavior, to integrate text, image or speech recognition and analysis features, and also to enable data detection to provide more domain-specific information to our users. We also want to integrate Siri into more of our applications. We also want to extend the Siri integration of our applications to extend the ways how to use and interact with the applications, and to make iOS provide usage suggestions to get the users back into our applications. And who knows which features will be introduced on WWDC along with iOS 17 this year. Usually everything starts with design. So we want to improve and extend the automation for transforming design into code. So this means importing styles, shapes, sizes, colors and fonts, for example, using Figma design tokens. And maybe in the future there will be a fully automated process for the creation of whole UI components. In the end, the goal is to make this process less error-prone. We also want to create reusable software components. Common features are often implemented from scratch over and over again. So we want to implement new features, but also extract existing features to reusable components and modules. So we can benefit from already tested implementations rather than reinventing the wheel again. This will also speed up the whole implementation process, so the developers can focus more on complex and unique features, also without exceeding our available budgets for the project. We also want to evaluate the feasibility of using AI coding assistants. AI provides amazing capabilities, and there are already tools for automated code generation that we would like to try out. These are tools like ChatGPT or, for example, GitHub Copilot. We would also like to try if it's possible to create automated unit tests and code documentation. We also want to improve our static code analysis, which means the analysis of code structure and quality to discover potential code smells. In general, we would like to extend the usage of static code analysis in our project, but we also want to evaluate alternatives to Sonar Cloud, which we are currently using. Another topic is also to improve the collaboration with the QA department to optimize the whole testing process of our applications. So we also want to improve the ways that our QA department can check and evaluate the results from this static code analysis tools we're using. We also want to optimize our CI/CD processes, especially our continuous delivery processes. This means we would like to optimize our build processes by identifying time-consuming build steps, by improving caching, and also by reducing our compile times. Another goal is to improve our pull request quality gates. For example, a decrease of our code coverage or an introduction of warnings by integrating new code should be made visible to PR reviewers. In the end, the goal is to improve the whole code quality. In addition to these topics, we are planning to extend and improve our project handover guidelines. So we already have defined processes, what needs to be done when we're getting projects from outside, but also for the processes for handing over the projects internally to other teams or developers, and what needs to be taken care of when we hand over projects to our clients or external companies. Another goal on our iOS tech strategy is to improve the app distribution process and also the App Store management processes. Here we want to increase the automation in the App Store release processes. So in the end, less manual work is required to release applications. We also evaluate alternatives to using App Center, where we currently host our QA and test applications, because we realized it's hardly maintained anymore and it doesn't offer any Active Directory integration. We also defined rules for customer App Store access in order to make sure that we always have access when it's required, and that we also receive warnings and additional information which are relevant for us from Apple. To ensure this, we also created a concept for two-factor authentication, which was sometimes a pain point in the past. To bring the whole SwiftUI topic forward, it's of course also necessary to make sure that our iOS developers have the necessary skills to do these implementations. So this is why there's a strong focus in our AF Academy program on SwiftUI for our app developers, because they also really want to work with these technologies and they're really eager to learn new things. But it's not only about SwiftUI, so the whole education topic will become more important in 2023, because we also want to make sure that our developers have all the necessary skills on a really high level to use and to be able to implement all these new features and technologies, and to even more improve the app quality and reliability in the end.